Who? The House Chairperson.
Will now be an opportunity for silent prayer or meditation. Thank you. Please be seated. The Secretary will read the order.
Debate on vote number 35, Science and Innovation Appropriation Bill.
I now recognize the Honourable the Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation.
Honorable House Chair, honorable members, Aisha Ndangaza, Deputy Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, Honorable Nomalungelo Kina, members of the Portfolio Committee, Acting DG, Mr. Dan Tutoit, DDGs, chairs and CEOs of our entities, officials of the department, my dear wife Pumelele, and my special guests who are here. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to be delivering the first budget vote of the Department of Science and Innovation under the 7th administration in the same year that we are celebrating 30 years of our democracy. In these 30 years, our country has made tremendous strides in science, technology, and innovation. We promulgated the first white paper in 1996, which emphasized the alignment of science, technology, and innovation policy to our goals of democracy. We also created new entities with specialized mandates, such as the Technology Innovation Agency, the South African National Space Agency, the National Research Foundation, and the Academy of Science of South Africa, and repositioning other entities such as the CSIR and the HSRC. Resulting from these and other interventions by the democratic government, our country began to gradually raise the scale of its science, technology, and innovation, STI, as we call it, capabilities in the period from 1996 to 2024, increasing our share of global research output to 0.98%. In the third decade of democracy, government focused on pivoting the national system of innovation to pursue transformative change in our economy and society. These measures are detailed in the white paper on STI of 2019 and our country's decadal plan of 2022 to 2032. Our decadal plan commits to increase science, technology, and innovation investment to tackle three societal grand challenges of climate change and environmental sustainability, the future of education, skills and work, and the future of society. And our Deputy Minister will provide more details on this. I now wish to draw your attention to some of the groundbreaking achievements of the DSI during the sixth administration, which have laid a strong foundation for deepening our work in this seventh administration. We have adopted a new vaccine manufacturing strategy, which we call VIMS in short, to promote domestic design, development, and production of vaccines. Through VIMS, we are targeting vaccine development at the following high priority afflictions. The first, which we are now going to be able to produce here locally, is the Rift Valley fever, which is an emerging transboundary mosquito-borne disease that causes high morbidity and mortality in both human and ruminant populations. The second is the human papillomavirus virus, which is a major contributor to cervical cancer in women in South Africa. The third is the respiratory syncytial virus, a major cause of respiratory illness and deaths in young infants. The fourth is the hepatitis B virus. This is endemic in South Africa with the highest rates in adults, and prevalence is 5 times higher in people who are co-infected with HIV. In short, we are now able to produce these vaccines locally, which is a major achievement of the sixth administration. Working with the World Health Organization, we've also set up capacity for the local development of mRNA vaccines in response to future coronavirus threats. The DSI budget vote directly responds to the program of action as outlined by the President in his speech during the opening of Parliament. The hydrogen economy, which was specifically referenced by the President, is an example of that. The DSI is leading major innovations to promote the transition to green hydrogen as an alternative source of energy, to fuel our economy and to facilitate a net zero energy future. To ensure whole of government coordination and unity of purpose, the President created an interministerial committee on hydrogen, which is led by the Deputy President. In March, we did the second demonstration of something very important at Kelvin Power Station, of a new technology which we call coal CO2X, to convert carbon emissions into sulfuric acid, a key ingredient in the production of phosphate fertilizers for the agricultural sector. This is an example of how we are decarbonizing our economy through carbon capture, whilst adding new value and jobs to our economy. We are also establishing a national solar research facility to promote technology transfer and localization in support of the Renewable Energy Master Plan and the all-important Cannabis Industrialization Master Plan. In the area of agro-processing and farmer development, in the 2023-24 period, we've provided a total of 1,480 Black emerging farmers with technology development support. DSI is also leading scientific and technological advancement in the field of astronomy, specifically in support of the construction of the Square Kilometer Array project. When completed, the SKA, as we call it, will be the biggest ever radio telescope array in the world. built here in South Africa, costing US 2.2 million US dollars, sorry, 2.2 billion US dollars, and offering the world of astronomical sciences over 50 years transformational science to answer the fundamental question on cosmic origins and the evolution of galaxies and black holes. Building on the successes of the sixth administration, we remain committed to ensuring the sustainability of existing businesses in the agricultural, manufacturing, and mining sectors, and supporting the development of new growth industries. Science, technologies, and innovation is also about transforming the socio-economic conditions of working-class communities in townships and rural areas. In 2023 to 2024, our Agricultural Bioeconomy Innovation Partnership Program initiative funded 14 multi-stakeholder programs, including wheat breeding for climate resilience, cassava and cotton plant health, and oil and protein seeds development trust project. We've provided 53 million rands as an initial investment to support a women-led SMME in the hydrogen economy. You would recall that in his address in opening Parliament last week, the President again explicitly referenced mineral beneficiation. In response to this, the Mandela Mining Precinct is intensifying efforts in minerals beneficiation for further diffusion in the industrial economy. Over the past 5 years, this precinct has manufactured and tested 2 drill prototypes through the Isidingo Drill Challenge. Producing a critical mass of young Black and women scientists and researchers is one of the critical pillars of our science, technology, and innovation strategy. In December 2023, the President announced the Presidential PhD Program. This program intends to expose some of our brightest PhD students and postdoctoral fellows to the best knowledge and innovation frontiers, laboratories, industries, and skills development platforms abroad and in Africa. This program will be supported through seed funding of 1 billion rands pledged from the National Skills Fund to be leveraged to 5 billion rand through private sector and international development partnerships. As part of building a capable state, we've also begun with the establishment of an Earth observation data center to provide decision support tools for government in fire and flood mapping, food security monitoring, human settlements mapping, forest mapping, disaster management, climate change, and water resources management. For instance, with the disasters in KZN and Eastern Cape, our National Space Agency is able to produce satellite on details of the exact damage that has been done by this inclement weather so that we are able as government to respond timeously. I'm also pleased to say that together with the Department of Tourism, we are now also implementing an astrotourism strategy. There is no doubt that SKA will offer huge economic benefits to local businesses and communities. Cabinet also approved a science, technology, and innovation budget coordination framework to improve cross-governmental budget allocations for STI and enabling cooperative planning across government. For the 2024-2025 financial year, our department experienced a budget cut and was adjusted to 10.5 billion rands from 10.8 billion in 2023-24. We are also going to deepen our international partnerships within BRICS plus the G20 and UNESCO in order to access more resources, as the resources we have are clearly not enough. We also look forward to hosting the International Astronomical Union General Assembly which will be held for the first time on the continent in Cape Town from 6th to the 15th of August. It also pleases me to announce that DSI, together with other government departments, will host an African Hydrogen Economy Conference as a lead up to our hosting of G20 next year. In conclusion, and in line with our strategic objective of using science diplomacy to foster human solidarity, social justice, and in support of our country's foreign policy, I wish to formally announce a new program to enable cooperation in science, technology, innovation between South Africa and Palestine. The program will also have a special focus to support for safeguarding, rebuilding, and developing Palestine's research and innovation capacity and infrastructure, and will entail the following: joint research projects between South African and Palestinian researchers, seed funding of Palestinian scholars and students in South Africa in exchange programs, sharing South African policy experience regarding science policy and system development. This new program will be implemented by our entity, the National Research Foundation, and will be funded from the department's existing budget for international cooperation. One of the serious dangers with the genocide in Palestine is that can actually wipe out a whole civilization, a whole people and their civilization. So we would like to cooperate in the area of science with the Palestinians so that we are able to strengthen our relationship. In other words, this is a concrete program which is aimed at ensuring that our solidarity with Palestine, yes, it is with the International Court of Justice, but we must also have concrete programs to work together. Our challenges notwithstanding, we present this budget as our commitment to transform our national system of innovation and using science, technology, and innovation to impact the lives of our people in a transformative way. Nibanga umsindo nje ni EFF. Ngoba ngicabanga ukuthi nina nodwa enikwazi ukwenza international. Akho kwaleyo international nje niyenzayo, Honorable Pam. Niyagijima nje nizenzele zonke lezi zinto esingayisinza. Nayi internationalism. Let's say push out. Thank you very much, Honorable Chair and honorable members.
The next speaker is the Honorable Hlongo.
Thank you very much, House Chairperson, Minister and Deputy Minister of the Department. Honorable members, good morning. The African National Congress established a set of strategic priorities of science and innovation aimed at fostering socio-economic development, technological advancement, and addressing historical disparities. The 2019 White Paper on Science, Technology, and Innovation represents one of the guiding policies that has recognized the inadequacy of transformation within the national system of innovation as a pressing challenge necessitating immediate attention. South Africa's entrenched history of discrimination has permitted the national system of innovation, resulting in a plethora of inequities and imbalances requiring remediation. Our steadfast commitment lies in rectifying these disparities and imbalances within the sector to propel global advancement through progressive, transformative imperatives. Honorable House Chairperson, ensuring continuous funding and steadfast support for women in science, technology, engineering, and maths, and for previously disadvantaged racial groups, particularly Black researchers within the Department of Science and Innovation, is paramount. To achieve this, it is essential to implement several key strategies. These strategies include the provision of grants for research projects to facilitate innovative scientific exploration, offering scholarship for education and training to empower individuals to pursue careers in STEM fields, and allocating funding for conferences and networking opportunities to foster collaboration and knowledge sharing. Furthermore, Honorable Chairperson, it is imperative to advocate for a standard percentage of funding specifically designated for women and Black researchers. Additionally, there should be prioritization of applications that demonstrate a strong commitment to promoting diversity and inclusion within the scientific community. We applaud the department for its current programs that acknowledge and celebrate the remarkable achievements of women in science through awards. This recognition is crucial in motivating and empowering the next generation of young women in scientific pursuits, ultimately leading to the meaningful and sustainable transformation in the field. The department's plan should include initiatives that focus on women, young girls, and students from underrepresented racial groups, particularly those with an interest in science and innovation. By implementing these strategies and fostering a supportive and inclusive environment, the Department of Science and Innovation can contribute to creating a more diverse and equitable STEM ecosystem that benefits society as a whole. We commend the department's plan to award 1,350 research grants to Black women, emerging researchers, and we trust that this number will increase in the future. Honorable Chairperson, the entities within the departments are fundamental for ensuring the successful realization of implementation plans. The Academy of Science of South Africa is dedicated to promoting exceptional achievements across all scientific disciplines, as well as acknowledging and honoring excellence. Additionally, the Academy offers evidence-based scientific counsel to the government and other relevant stakeholders. Over the foreseeable future, the Academy aims to bolster South Africa's ability to generate and disseminate research, furnish evidence-based policy guidance to the government, and amplify the quality and prominence of research publications orientating from South Africa. These concerted efforts are anticipated to positively impact our economic expansion. Honorable Chairperson, it is important to establish strong working relationships with various departments to have a successful impact on the nation's work. We appreciate the collaboration between DSI, the Department of Basic Education, and provincial education departments, as it plays a crucial role in identifying and nurturing young talent necessary for building a STEM human capital pipeline. The partnership also contributes to the goals of the DSI-led Science Engagement Program. Honorable members, the department has exhibited unwavering support for addressing pressing societal issues such as climate change, drought, and environmental pollution. We have witnessed our country's different provinces confront the effects of climate change, including the devastating wildfires and destructive floods, particularly during the current winter season. Our collective mission as a nation is to ensure that this administration leads our country through many challenges of climate change by implementing strategic scientific measures. The Department of Science and Innovation must be able to work with all spheres of government and the private sector in a collaborative effort to build resilience and respond to the impact of climate change. The government's initiative on hydrogen and energy focuses on driving the reduction of greenhouse gas emissions and air pollution. The primary goal is to establish a more diverse and sustainable energy mix by facilitating the widespread commercialization of battery, fuel cell, renewable, and net zero technologies. These technologies are rooted in publicly funded intellectual property rights, and the government aims to support their penetration in the market through comprehensive research, development, and validation efforts. Ultimately, the objective is to enhance the competitive edge of these technologies in terms of cost and performance, while nurturing strategic partnerships with both public and private sectors. These partnerships are critical for overcoming institutional market barriers, thus paving the way for successful commercialization for energy solutions. We are aware that the feasibility of an interdepartmental model for establishing and managing science sectors will be tested over the next 5 years. The Albertina Sisulu Science Center in Kofimbaba in Eastern Cape will serve as a test for this initiative. Eastern Cape will for this initiative. This project involves a partnership between DSI, the Department of Education in Eastern Cape, the Department of Basic Education, and Intsigaye to local municipality. As a committee, we are committed to providing our attention and oversight to ensure the success of this project. Honorable House Chairperson, the State of the Nation address characterizes the last 5 years as a period dedicated to stimulating economy after a decade of stagnation and shielding it from both domestic and global upheavals. Looking ahead to the 7th administration and the 2024-2025 budget, our goal is to preserve the gains we've achieved, reconstruct our nation, and wholeheartedly engage in the ongoing process. Sengivala sihlalo ngiyafuna ukusho ukuthi leli komiti ligcizelele kakhulu Minister kuleli tiko ukuthi alende sure ukuthi letinsita o lamatfuba lelikhuluma ngawo ayafika etindzaweni tasemakhaya nasemaphandleni lapho khona abantu bakithi bede kabanti lwati ngesayensi. Si-African National Congress siyayisekela le budget. Ngiyabonga.
Honorable members, the next speaker is the Honorable Menyatso of the MK, and it is a maiden speech.
Honorable Chairperson, Minister, and honorable members. Science and technology and innovation are the cornerstones of the South African economy. They are also the dominant forces in modern society and international economic development. This department's budget, Honorable Minister, falls too short of what we need as a country. It advocates business as usual, and that is unacceptable, and we will never support it. This country needs a budget that will respond to the demand of science, technology, and innovation to impact across critical sectors such as agriculture, energy, environment, health, infrastructure development, mining, security, and water, among others. Regarding health, we need to empower and fully support our future pioneers in human health. Sufficient funding should go to programs that will enable the next generation of clinicians and scientists and engineers to learn to harness the combined power of science, engineering, and medicine to translate research findings into clinical practice and to improve human health. It's critical that we support our young people and our scientists out there. I will support the budget that talks to that. We need our scientists to focus on real medicine. We need our scientists to focus on medicine that cures. This department supports other departments such as health. So it is through this department that other departments can be stronger. Now, we are talking about vaccines. We are talking about other medications. If you go to our clinics today, the queues are still long. And it looks like they will still be longer for quite some time because the budget has been reduced. And it looks like there is no intention to do the difference. Now,
Honorable member, just take your seat for a moment. Honorable members, please afford this member the courtesy we afford to members who are giving a maiden speech. Honorable member, please continue.
Chair, I think you must remove Litsie. He is the problem.
Yeah,
Point
no,
of order.
at this point, we're not in the business of removing anyone, but there's a plea to everyone to respect the decorum of the House. Thank you. Order. Honorable
Chairperson.
member, please continue.
Chairperson,
thank you, Chair.
please, if they are making noise, then there's a problem.
Yeah. Thank you. We've dealt with the matter.
Thank you, Chair. It's critical for us to emphasize the issue of medicines because this department is critical to that. For me and you to be here today, someone survived thousands of years ago. They survived mosquitoes, they survived all these other ailments. The bacteria that we see today, they've been there for years. How did they survive? Is there any wisdom that we can draw from them? That wisdom still exists. The herbs they used then, they are still there. Most of them still have the same properties that can assist us. So we would support a budget that will also focus on supporting researchers who would go down to our people, to our traditional healers, and find out exactly what is it that can be used to cure most of these diseases. But today, we take tablets daily. We need tablets that will cure us. But for us to get there, we need to support them with budgets and other measures and collaborate, obviously, with other countries. If you look at China, for example, they are supporting their traditional medicine. So we need to do that. And by the way, government should be the funder of these, not private funding, because someone who benefits from disease will never help us to get out of these problems. When it comes to mining, technological innovations are particularly relevant in the mining industry, which is facing challenges of lower and more difficult to access great deposits. They are facing environmental footprints concerns, health hazards, and depleting access to resources such as water and energy needed for mining operations. Innovation plays a critical role in the mining industry as a tool to improve the efficiency of its processes, to reduce costs, but also to meet the increasing social and environmental concerns among communities and authorities. Technological progress has also been crucial to allow the exploitation of new deposits in more complex scenarios, lower ore grades, extreme weather conditions, deeper deposits, harder rock mass, and high stress environments. South Africa needs a progressive budget to meet some of these challenges in the mining sector. Regarding entrepreneurship, we need to focus on entrepreneurship, but not just spaza shops. We need to focus on tech entrepreneurship. For South Africa to radically create jobs and economic opportunities, we need to support our tech entrepreneurs. We need a national science and technology entrepreneurship development strategy. Small enterprises are considered as engines of economic development in developing countries, including South Africa. We need a budget that will enable us to develop science, technology, and entrepreneurship parks in our townships and rural areas with the objective of creating knowledge-based entrepreneurs, among others. It is critical to develop a radical institutional mechanism to help promote knowledge-driven and technology-intensive enterprises. MK believes that this initiative will convert job seekers into job generators through science and technology interventions. In 2013, the 1st of November, our President Jacob Zuma called on more youth to take up mathematics and science, saying the country will be guaranteed an economically bright future. We need to support our young minds. In education, we need to repurpose some of the closed schools and closed tertiary institutions for them to focus in science, technology, and innovation. We need also to beat up the drums to make sure that the public at large understand the importance of this department. It is critical that we get a buy-in from everyone. During World Cup, everyone was supporting World Cup, soccer, even those who never played football. We can do the same also for science, technology, and innovation. It's very critical for this country to do that. In agriculture, we need to support our researchers so that they can help us to get seeds that are good for us, not the suicide seeds that we are now subjected to. We were never consulted when they gave us this, when they came up with these suicide seeds.
Honorable
We need
member,
seeds that can grow.
honorable
You hatch,
member,
you plant, the seed grows.
your
That's
time
the
has
seed.
now expired. Thank you.
Thank you.
Honorable members, before I announce the next speaker, I've been requested to just alert members to try and not speak too closely to the mic. It would seem it distorts sound when we do the broadcast to the public. The next speaker is the Honorable Matsone.
Matsone. House Chairperson Horn, Minister Nzimande, fellow members of Parliament. Science, technology, and innovation are now commonly accepted to be the cornerstones of the majority of the world's economy. They are dominant forces both in modern society and in the international economic development sphere. If this area is strengthened the way it should be, the results will encourage an open, transparent system of government throughout the world. In fact, so important is this field that the African Union Science and Technology Innovation Strategy for Africa 2024, named On the Wings of Innovation, places science, technology, and innovation at the epicenter of Africa's socio-economic development and growth. Human capital is absolutely essential to the development of a national system of innovation that is globally competitive and responsive to the South African developmental needs. This department must ensure that it provides support through the granting of bursaries, scholarships, sponsoring internships, and funding emerging and established researchers. South Africa is a nation of great innovators. From our world-famous creepy crawly pool cleaner, Prattley Putty, which just for your information is the only South African substance on the moon, to being the advanced surgical country that we are, including being the country to conduct the first successful human transplant, to the country emerging as a leader in solar power and renewable energy innovation. Technologies such as artificial intelligence, robotics, big data analytics, and quantum computing now have the potential to completely change how we operate the economy and South Africa's research and innovation in these fields that could play an instrumental role in the growth of our nations. We must prepare ourselves and our workplaces for the fundamental changes and challenges these technologies will bring them. Minister, we must never find ourselves blindsided by a further lack of employment due to a lack of knowledge as to how technology operates and how best to use it to our abilities and to improve our workforce. We must be acutely aware of the possible misuse of emerging technologies. Now, while AI has the ability to change and improve the way we work, we must also ensure that there are regulations in place to ensure that there is not an abuse of these technologies, that academic progress is not compromised due to such abuse. Children must still enjoy a comprehensive education, and we must never become dependent on AI to take over the human mind and the capacity for understanding, innovation, creation, imagination, and most importantly, cultural knowledge. Innovation results in productivity growth that brings vast benefits to the large entirety of our country. As productivity rises, so will wages, and businesses will become more profitable. This will enable them to invest more and to hire more employees. The full benefit of innovation can be realized and it will be necessary to spread it across the economy to equally benefit companies in different sectors and different sizes. Experts call this process diffusion of innovation. These are various measures to promote innovation, including increasing spending on research and development, known as R&D, and investing in education, as well as enabling startup businesses. Companies can facilitate innovation by investing in their staff and conducting their own R&D. It is said that if you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. If you teach a man to fish, you'll feed him for a lifetime. That's how the saying goes. We must not be afraid to encourage the sharing of information and knowledge by encouraging more entrepreneurship programs, encouraging our young people to learn skills that they can develop over time. No matter how advanced technology becomes, the world will always require artisans, and artisanal skills are becoming increasingly rare. We now admire work done by artisans, and we need, Minister, to find that balance between large-scale production and artisanal excellence. There are some things that you can only learn on the job. Young people should be excited about these opportunities, and certainly when it comes to small and medium enterprises, this is a sure way to grow entities and promote growth and profitability. Minister, never before have the prospects been greater. The potential, more accessible, and the need for the urgent advancement in the field of science, technology, and innovation greater. We are a country of vast resources and great creativity, and of this, I'm extremely proud. Let us work together to advance this field, to grow our economy, and most importantly, to
Honourable
empower our
Member.
people. I thank you.
Honourable Member, please just take your seat for a moment. Oh, were you done? Honourable Mahotwe, why are you rising?
No, thank you, Chair. I just wanted to find out if the speaker on the podium can take a question on whether she has now completed her degree on law or.
No,
she still
Honourable
hasn't
Member,
completed.
you know the rules very well. You first inquire whether the member is prepared to take a question, and then you pose the question. Honourable Matsone, are you prepared to take a question?
Absolutely. Thank you, House Chairperson Horn.
Honourable Mahotwe, will you now phrase your question?
Honorable Mazzoni, just want to check if you have now completed your law degree. Initially you said you had, but it turned out that you actually hadn't. So I
Thank
just
you,
want to
Honourable Member.
understand now if you have now actually gone to school and you now have a law degree.
Honourable Member, in the year 1996, I matriculated from the Glen High School. I have not completed a law degree, neither have I ever said that I've completed a law degree. I am, however, now in my 4th term of Parliament, and please believe me when I tell you, I am a master in manners, and you would do very well to learn a little bit from me. Thank you so much for the question.
Thank you. The Honourable Order. Honourable members, Honourable Pambu, please just take your seat for a moment. Order. Honourable member to my right, why are you rising?
No, thank you very much, Chair. I was just saying that the member on the podium must wait for you to call him. I think he's too forward.
Yes.
Let him go back and then you'll call him.
Thank you. This time we'll not ask that, but yes, please, honourable members, please just wait until you are called upon to speak before you enter to the podium. But we will not ask this member to go back. Order, order. Honourable members, let's listen to one another. I'm sure the Honourable Pambu is also going to add to this debate. Honourable Pambu, please take the podium.
No, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Chairperson. Let me begin by saying that I'm inspired by the spirit of offenders, and that I'm not going to be asked to be called to the podium. I'm going to come to the podium, unannounced, uninvited, unwanted, and I'm going to take it by the horns. So, Chairperson, allow me to address the House. But also, let me tell Honorable Mazwane, that
It is very bad that you may come to this house and say that you want to represent the people of South Africa and that you don't take time to engage in personal development. And yet to take the time to come and speak about science and technology and innovation. But you do nothing to develop yourself. It is in the essence of what whiteness, white privilege has given you. None of us sitting here have not taken time. Listen to me.
Point
I've
of order,
listened to-
Chair.
The point of order.
Honorable Palmer, please just take your seat. Honorable member.
Chair, the member at the podium is casting aspersions on my member. I don't think that's permitted.
What is the aspersion, Honorable Lorimer?
He's suggesting that she requires personal development. I think that's a personal attack.
Yeah. Thank you, Honorable Palmer. Just take your seat one moment more.
Chairperson.
Order.
Chairperson, that's the matter of opinion.
Honorable member, you've not been recognized. I'm well.
Helping you.
No, I'm not needing your assistance at
Your
this moment.
GNU is in a crisis. You need-
Order. Thank you. Please switch off your mic. Honorable members, if you'll give me a moment, I can deal with the matter. Honorable members, I've not heard the Honorable Pambu casting an aspersion to the effect that there is an attack on the integrity of the Honorable Matsone. What I heard is him reacting, advising that she must invest, like all of us, in our personal development. That being said, of course, there is no requirement in law for any of us to hold a degree, so let's respect one another. Honorable Pambu, please continue with the merits of this debate.
No, thank you very much, Chairperson. Members of the National Assembly, and let me greet the Commander-in-Chief, the President of Africa, and the Treasurer General who's here, who's whipping the progressive organization called the EFF. Let me also greet the members of MK and other members of the Progressive Caucus. Honorable Chairperson, members of the National Assembly, science, innovation, and technology are not mere academic pursuits. There's an illiterate who's speaking when I'm speaking. They are the very lifeblood of our existence and progress. They are central to our ability to drink clean water, farm and produce food, have dignified sanitation, improve the quality of education, and fight poverty, inequality, and unemployment. Without science, there is no way forward. We cannot achieve reindustrialization, create new industries, build new cities, or develop our society. This is the centrality of science, innovation, and technology, and understanding that the former liberation movement, even with 30 years of experience in government, failed to appreciate this fully. Now we find ourselves facing the same lack of comprehension in the so-called government of national unity led by the illiterate Democratic Alliance on behalf of the Oppenheimers and the Ruperts. Despite the ample opportunities afforded by the parliamentary bursaries and white privilege, they fail to grasp the complexity and significance of organized knowledge. Countries that take themselves seriously invest an average of nearly 3% of their GDP in research and development, Minister. Meanwhile, here in South Africa, we languish at 0.6% contribution in our GDP. This is the mediocrity we are dealing with. The preamble of the 1996 white paper on science and technology envisaged and promised a future where all South Africans would enjoy an improved and sustainable quality of life, participate in a competitive economy by means of satisfying employment, and share in a democratic culture. 30 years later, the people of South Africa are being misled and lied to yet again. Their quality of life being misled and lied to yet again has not improved. The economy has failed to create jobs and provide satisfying employment, and the democratic culture continues to benefit the privileged minority to the exclusion of the oppressed and impoverished majority. Minister, you would know that no economy in the world can drive social development and economic growth with the aim of creating jobs without positioning science, technology, and innovation as the key drivers of economic activity and prosperity. To turn around our stagnant and jobless economy, we must urgently address the stubborn challenges of knowledge production and pursue targeted research and development. Under this government, South Africa no longer has a competitive advantage. We keep being asked to vote for a budget, yet we keep falling lower and lower in the global competitive index and the global innovation index. We have continuously failed to meet our own targets for gross expenditure on research and development as a percentage of South Africa's gross domestic product, which are themselves significantly lower than global standards. Without playing a significant role in actively supporting the research and development, the government will never be able to meaningfully contribute to the advancement of productivity and opening new channels of economic activity. This indecisiveness from the government has also led to a decline in the aggregate levels of gross private sector investment in the R&D.
Honorable Pambo, unfortunately, your time has now expired.
No, thank you very much, Chairperson. But we must say that we reject this budget, which has unfortunately failed. But also to say
Honorable
that
member,
we need an increase in the budget. These
your
austerity
time has
measures
expired. Please
must not
vacate
be
the
the
podium.
standard of our business. Thank you very much, Chairperson.
The next speaker is the Honorable Zondo. Order. Please allow the Honorable Zondo to take part in this debate. Honorable Zondo, please continue.
Dinango. Kaya. The STI derived its mandate from 1996 white paper on science and technology, which introduced the concept of national systems of innovation, a set of interaction organizations and policies through which South Africa create, acquire, diffuse, and put in practice new knowledge to help achieve individual and collective goals. As an IFP, we acknowledge the importance of science, technology, and innovation as a critical component to create much-needed job opportunities and positioning our country as an economic leader in Southern Africa and Africa. This committee must ensure that the department diligently executes its responsibilities relating to this component and maximizes their potential to accelerate economic transformation and improve our country's competitiveness. The IFP believe that adequate research into the potential of natural resources, local labor capacity, and how we can integrate the use of capital resources to boost efforts in job creation can bring about the change in our country needs. The department needs to continuously reflect on its target, particularly regarding Program 2, Technology Innovation, Program 4, Research, Development and Support, and Program 5, Socio-Economic Innovation. These programs take priorities because they are time-sensitive and fundamentally to development. The budget cut rating to this department are concerning because without the necessary funding, the threat of failure to lead the economic development agenda as a mandate by its citizens looming over us. However, the IFP believes that if limited funds are prioritized they should be focused on localized research and development programs. In our country, there is a need of science and innovation to play a more active role in developing our national and a global emergency protocols, where factual information is a key to private decision-making by government. With developing of this fourth industrial revolution and all its various tools, information is readily available but not accessible at all. What is needed is more complete strategy that dives in the details of vision of the socio-economic needs of our country. The required support infrastructure across the economic spectrum as a well-proper emergency response mechanism. Unfortunately, the Department of Science and Innovation will experience a significant budget cut of 3 billion over the course of the next 3 years in an effort to rein its public spending. While understanding that this previous administration public spending has gotten completely out of control due to the mismanagement and misappropriation of funds, we cannot rectify this by pushing the very South Africans seeking to make the difference. An example of this is the fact that the National Research Foundation plans to fund 1,000 fewer researchers in 2024-2025, which is 25% drop from 2023 to 2022 due to the significant budget cut by the DSI. While nothing can be done about in spending 3 billion budget cut, the IFP urges the department and the new government to ensure that the advancements of research and innovation remains a top priority, especially it's related to addressing our country's socio-economic challenges. Furthermore, we are clearly witnessing the tragic underrepresentation of skills and capable women in the science, technology, and innovation field. Women who come from a previous disadvantaged background need to be supported at a postgraduate level so that they may contribute and inspire more women in the field. Moreover, while some grounds has been made, there is still a large gap when it comes to female graduates in science who are employed in the private sector. They are paid considerably less than their male counterpart and underrepresented in all industries. Therefore, Honourable Minister, the IFP sincerely urges the department to consider this issue when requesting funds to cover the fallout of 3 billion cut. As an IFP, we support vote 35 with the view that the gap created by the budget cut implemented in National Treasury can be mitigated by cooperating efforts with other departments. Angazi ukuthi yini edidayo ngoba phela sizosebenza lapha. So manje ngibona sengathi abanye bazela ukuthi iPhalamende ngathi lingahlala phansi. Angimangele bengashadile laba mkhaya ngoba ayikho indoda engamelana nabantu abakhuluma ngakho.
Thank you, honorable members.
Point of order, Chairperson.
Yes, why are you rising, honorable member?
I wanted to check with the speaker ukuthi khuluma bashadile la emsebenzini.
No, honorable member, thank you. You can take that offline.
Asile la ngemshado.
Thank you. The next, Honorable Boshoff, I see you on the podium, but the PA is allowed to, was indicated that they wanted to take part in this debate. Let me just firstly inquire, is there a speaker on behalf of the PA? Not, then we move on. Honorable Boshoff. Please just take your seat. Yes, honorable member, why are you rising?
No, thank you very much, Chair. My hand was getting tired. Chair, you have called order on Honorable Mbata for speaking without you giving him a space to do so. He continues. So can you please call order and warn him so that he must not stop. He must stop doing it, because if you don't, he will continue to do so.
Now,
Thank you very much.
thank you, honorable member. I'm sure he'll take his guidance from you. Now, honorable member, let's please continue. Honorable Boshoff. Order. Please, let's respect the decorum of the House. Order. Honorable members. Yeah, let's work with one another. Science and innovation is an important topic. Honorable Boshoff, it's your chance to debate.
Thank you, Honorable Chair, Honorable Minister, and fellow colleagues in the Department, of the Department of Science and Innovation and colleagues within the committee. I think in the center of science, innovation, and technology, which is the new name of the department, is actually innovation. That is what everything pivots around. Innovation is a new way of thinking, a fresh way of approaching problems, a new way of doing stuff according to the challenges that confronts one. Now, that is actually not something that you can teach somebody. You can lead somebody to develop.
Honorable
that.
Boshoff, my apologies. Please just take your seat. I see a hand there at the back.
Honorable Chair, I'm just checking to the presenter that it's parliamentary to not tag in his chat. I'm just checking.
No, honorable member. That's not helpful. Let's all respect one another. Let's afford this member his opportunity to debate. Please continue.
I thought maybe the member has a problem with me speaking English today. But yeah, I know it doesn't sound like English, but I try. Within this Department of Science, Innovation and Technology, it is important really to instill a way of thinking, which of course is based on knowledge, on science, and which converts into technology, which is of practical use, economical use. And that is something that one actually needs a kind of a spirit, you could say a national spirit of innovation, which is, by the way, something which is not always really instilled by the formal educational sector. Sometimes you find that the most innovative people are those who were not formally schooled in some or other direction because they have this innovative view of life. As I always say in Afrikaans, 'n groef en 'n graf se enigste verskil is die diepte. Now, I think one finds two kinds of departments within the state setup. There are consumption departments, those that use up money, and then there are investment departments, those that generates money or development within time. And science and innovation technology is definitely one of the second part. But there's another distinction between departments. You get some departments in which you see an immediate problem if you neglect it. If you neglect education, it's immediately visible. But if you neglect science and innovation, it's not so soon to be seen. And that is a problem. That's why the number crunchers tend to spend more or to allocate less money to science and innovation. And that is a problem because it means the negative results are going to be visible within 10 or 15 or 20 years, and maybe not with something that we see, but with all the possible things that we don't see, the things which don't happen because the innovative thinking and the science-based knowledge was not applied in the correct way. Now, the problem is to say, how does one fund or increase funding in a department which doesn't generate money immediately within a stagnant economy? And maybe it could be a plan to say, but let us fund the SETAs and the skills skills fund from a parliamentary grant and take this 1% skills development levy and make it rather science and innovation levy. That would increase this department's funding from about 10 billion to some 18 or 19 billion rand per year, and it could be growing. And then I should not end this speech without saying that the land of the SKA is not fenced yet, and it's still very difficult to farm within near their Rooikat breeding grounds. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Thank you. The next speaker is the Honorable Letlape.
Thank you to the chair, the minister, the deputy minister, the chair of the committee, and the DG. Just want us to remember, I'll give 5 seconds for a moment for all the victims of science and technology. From Hiroshima and Nagasaki to Project Coast to the carpet bombing in the Middle East. To understand that research and development can also lead to human destruction. I hope, Minister, you'll be able to get funds. to
Honorable
research and
Letlape,
develop
will you
on
please
our basis.
just take your seat for a moment? There's a hand here in front. Honorable member, why are you rising?
Chair, I just want to find out why there is only an Afrikaans interpretation here. The interpreter is Afrikaans only. Why?
Honorable member, when I checked right at the start of the debate, there was some other translations available. My advice would be to maybe just move through the different channels. Last week, when we had multiple mini plenaries, we of course were able to only translate into English from other languages. But today, when I checked, there was other languages apart from Afrikaans. Thank you. Yes.
Not on this room. It's only Afrikaans.
Yeah. I'll ask that the Secretariat assist to just verify. But Honorable Letlape, in the meantime, please continue.
Research and Development Minister, that can help us as South Africans, how to move from talking summits and commissions to action. We talk too much, we pass too many laws, but our country is deteriorating. What has gone wrong with us? Research into making beneficiation a reality in this country so that we stop complaining and stop talking about it and still export raw materials and we do not grow as an economy. I just want to ensure, Minister, that we'd be able to do science and research to strengthen small businesses. I had the minister talk about cannabis industrialization. We've had our parents and grandmothers deal with dacha for ages. Are they now going to be displaced by billionaires? Is there going to be research to assist them so that they become viable economies? I'd just like to remind people that if you create 1 billionaire, you could have created 1,000 millionaires. And abject poverty is inversely proportional to billionaires in your society. As we see the number of billionaires increase, children starve in the Eastern Cape. And we need to be mindful of those issues. Just knowing what you are eating. There's no research on the things that matter. We then talk about obesity as an entry when people are not even informed as to the fuel they put into their mouth, the impact it will have on their health. Can we have research on those issues? Can we have socioeconomic impact studies on all the issues that come up? And look at the potential harms to society from these issues. From where I come from in the medical world, we know the harmful effects of that. But everybody is talking about industrialization. I need to remind people that in America, they have an opioid pandemic because of people trying to relieve pain and everybody going out there. Now they have suicides. We have high mental health illness in this country. So as we industrialize on these issues, can there be funding for properly conducted randomized clinical trials that can inform the alleged health benefits of cannabis. So that when we incorporate it in health, it is based on solid evidence. So that when you talk to your patients about it, you are basing it on science. You are basing it on clinical trials. Minister, all I ask is that it cannot be business as usual. Let us look for funding that will help improve what happens in our society. We support the budget because research is important. And we hope that a percentage of
Honourable
GDP
member,
will be devoted to research. in
your
this
time
country.
has now expired. Thank you. Honourable members, the next speaker is the Honourable the Deputy Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation.
Thank you very much, House Chairperson. Good morning, honorable members, Minister, Honorable Nzimande, Acting General Director, and all the DDGs, Chairperson, CEOs of all the entities that are here, ladies and gentlemen. We stand here being encouraged by the strides that this department has taken and has made over the previous terms of administration in building the national system of innovation. Our inclusive science system accommodates all races and genders, and science is driven by the need for a better life, one which generates knowledge to drive the economy across several areas. As part of this gender commitment, we'll be intentional about women in science, technology, and innovation. In this regard, Honorable Chair, allow me to recognize a special guest that we have in this house today by the name of Senamile Masango. Senamile is a nuclear scientist, an alumni of a European organization of nuclear research called CERN, a non-executive board director at a South African nuclear corporation called NEXA. She empowers women in engineering and science field. She's a young Black South African woman. Senamile, you can stand up. Thank you very much, Senamile. These are such women that we are saying we need to make sure that they multiply, and we see quite a number of them. Chairperson, as a country, we must seek to avoid what Isaac Asimov, a professor of biochemistry in Boston University, once said about science and society. He said, I quote, "The saddest aspect of life right now is that science gathers knowledge faster than society gathers wisdom," close quote. I may as well add that innovation and groundbreaking disruptions are moving faster than society gathers wisdom. It is our responsibility as this department that as we drive the imperative of science, technology, and advancement in innovation, that society is not left behind, but proceed in tandem. Science, technology, and innovation must never be understood as for the specialized elite, divorced from society that it finds itself. Chairperson, it is our biggest aim. Our biggest aim is to strengthen actions targeting critical structures, opportunities, and challenges facing South African society that require data, research through leadership and policy experimentation. Opportunities and challenges include persistently high levels of poverty and unemployment, the fact that our community and our society remains one of the most unequal in the world, governance challenges, a maturing democracy, demographic shifts, including young dividend, high levels of crime, including unacceptable high levels of gender-based violence. The above will be achieved through the establishment of national research institutes. By investing on STI, the department is focusing on enabling all stakeholders in our society to participate in ensuring that South Africa leads in its mandate of creating science for good of society, to respond to key societal challenges, especially the climate change. Honorable members, over the past 2 decades, a number of successful initiatives were put in place to facilitate the use of available science for policy in action. Together with the Presidential Climate Change Commission, we finalized the development of medium-term climate change research and development roadmap. In the face of rapid technological change, as well as other drivers, human society is undergoing fundamental and accelerated change. Such change is particularly significant in the educational system, both basic and post-school, as well as in workplaces. In the current financial year, DSI, in partnership with Human Resource Development Council Secretariat, will finalize the scoping of a well-designed observatory and mobilize key users and role players. And in response to COVID-19 pandemic, an Institute of Pandemic Preparedness and Response is now at an advanced age of development. Honorable members, the research plays a pivotal role in our society, and to date, 276 research chairs have been awarded to universities, and other research institutions have supported 16 centers of excellence. In addition to the above, the department has introduced 16 national institutes for research, design, and innovation to consolidate and enhance the RDI capacities emerging from the above centers of excellence, research chairs, and other initiatives supported by government. The NRDIs forge close links with business and industry to improve interfaces between research and economic production. Chairperson, consistent with our aims of mainstreaming science to society as part of our decadal objectives, it is important to drive the divide between science and society through taking science to the people. Connected to the above, societal commitment, the department has conducted South African Public Relationship with Science Survey, which is a study to gauge science literacy in South Africa. The survey report will be officially launched and released to the public in few months and will inform future programs. Key to our decadal goals, it is human capital development and training, of which most of the honorable members have talked to. Working with Higher Education and Training Department in catalyzing knowledge-driven economy, we have funded postgraduate students, of which our minister have spoken to. To date, we have supported 12,000 PhD students, at the same time supported 24,400 honors and master students. By this number, we have met a target that we have set for 2019 to 2024 period. As a further commitment to funding innovation, Minister Nzimande announced a Higher Education Innovation Fund of 30 million targeted at students, mainly youth, at TVET colleges and universities. This will support innovation and tech entrepreneurship at these institutions. Honorable members, in this 7th administration, there is going to be a particular focus on skills development in various sectors that are strategic for DSI. The development of skills will be prioritized in the catalytic innovations areas such as energy sector, for example, skills needed for the implementation of hydrogen sector roadmap and the development of renewable energy sources, of which we know there are challenges in our country. This skills development in the health sector will be notable, be in the vaccine manufacturing initiatives, which include supporting the country's RDI capabilities to manufacture vaccines. Honorable Manyatso, you spoke very well on this, and exactly that is our focus as the department as we undergo this. Exactly, we couple that with the indigenous knowledge, as you correctly put on and pointed at. That is exactly what we are focusing at this as this department. And as the member of the committee, we are going to walk the journey with you and see how we focus on those. The department is finalizing the establishment of the Municipal Innovation Fund to allow municipalities to apply for the funding to implement technology and innovation projects identified by them to meet their requirements. In addition, the DSI has piloted the Technology Acquisition and Development Fund that aims to achieve the inclusive development, strengthening the procurement to use locally developed technologies by various departments and in the municipality. To date, the above program, where we deal with the research and the development when it comes to the tax incentives used by the I'm trying to summarize, used by businesses, the business support. To date, we have processed more than 3,000 applications by those business support fund that we have created. And we are working with our businesses to make sure that when it comes to the tax incentives, we support the business sector so that our SMMEs, we boost them.
Honorable
and we
Deputy
have got
Minister,
that funding.
unfortunately, your
Thank you
time has
very
now
much.
expired.
We are looking forward to work with this portfolio committee to make sure that we touch the lives of our people every day. Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson.
The next speaker is the Honorable Thring.
Honorable House Chairperson, the ACDP is cognizant of the budget cuts across most government departments due to fiscal constraints caused by over borrowing of more than 5 trillion rand, a budget deficit of over 300 billion rand, corruption and failure to implement the necessary structural reforms to revive our economy. The Department of Science and Innovation has not been spared the wanton excesses of the previous government. The National Research Foundation, South Africa's chief science funder, with a mandate to fund research, develop human resources, and enable knowledge creation, innovation, and development in all fields of science and technology, will now award 1,000 fewer grants in 2024 than last year, thanks to budget cuts. This equates to 1,000 less exceptionally bright young scientists denied the opportunity of further study and perhaps discovering life-saving interventions. In the view of the ACDP, budget cuts over the past 5 years have been the plague on South Africa's Department of Science and Innovation. This is corroborated by the PC Chair, Honorable Nkwacha, who lamented, if we had stability of funding, we would be able to do so much more. The ACDP agrees with the committee in that government should collaborate with the private sector to raise the level of research and development. Additionally, it is essential that public investments in research infrastructure be focused on to fulfill the needs of a modern economy. The ACDP supports the 6 science, technology, and innovation priorities, which are in modernizing manufacturing, agriculture, and mining, pursuing new sources of growth within the digital and circular economies, health research and innovation, energy research and innovation to enable a capable state, as well as innovation in support of socio-economic progress. Finally, House Chairperson, as a former maths and science teacher myself, there must be a recognition that the journey to a healthy science and innovation environment must begin at grassroots level, at primary and high school levels. And it must include the further education, reskilling, and upskilling of our educators, so as to instill a love for math and science, robotics, coding, and IT development in the formative minds of our learners. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Is there somebody representing the UDM? Rise. Bosa. The NCC. Then I call to the podium next the Honorable Ramon Galo. Honorable members, please note it's a maiden speech.
Thank you, House Chairperson. Greetings to the Minister and the Deputy Minister and honorable members here today. It's an honor and a privilege to participate in a debate of such groundbreaking department that is expected to be a catalyst in the fast-changing world of science, technology, and innovation. This department has a massive potential to put a dent in the high unemployment rate in the country, especially among young people. But we have to get the basics right. We need to get the country going. South Africa is being left behind in the technologically advanced world that needs a population that is techno-savvy. There needs to be more guidance and deliberate efforts at a lower level for students to take up subjects that will equip them for science and technology. As we have in the department's 2019-2014 APEX priorities, APEX Priority 3, Education, Skills and Health, the intervention seems to be happening much later at tertiary institutions, which results in fewer young people who get empowered by the department. On the other hand, we have many students with access to technology tools like cell phones that can't be used to close this gap. According to statistics from Common Sense Media, 42% of kids have a phone by the age of 10. By age 12, it's 71%. And by 14, it's 91%. Instead of discouraging the use of cell phones at schools, I think it's time we put them to good use. This is a tool that can help young people to pursue a career and not just be social media influencers. Bill Gates of Microsoft, Steve Jobs of Apple iPhone, Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook, Sean Carter, popularly known as Jay-Z, in the music industry. They are all billionaires who used technology to pursue their careers. We now need to create a conducive space for young people like Kyle from Khayelitsha.
Honorable member, just take your seat for a moment. Honorable members, today it would seem as if when we announce there's a maiden speech, it has exactly the effect we don't want. Please afford this member the courtesy we afford members who are delivering a maiden speech. Thank you. I depend on your support. Honorable member, please continue.
Honorable member, relax. I'm getting to that. Now we need to create a conducive space for young people like Kyle in Mitchell's Plain, Lesego from Soshanguve, Aviwe from Khayelitsha, Tepo from Sebokeng, so that they too can enter into the tech space and create generational wealth for themselves and their families. According to the Department of Basic Education, out of 700,000 full-time matriculants who wrote exams, only 200,000 wrote maths. Only 16% achieved 60% or more. This is very concerning and casts some serious doubt on whether the department will be able to achieve its vision, and I quote, to increase well-being and prosperity through science, technology, and innovation. Ours is a country of contradictions. We have the highest unemployment rate in the world, especially among young people. Yet the highest demands is in jobs that require science, mathematics, and technology skills. In March last year, Africa.com stated that nationally, only 22% of households have computers, while only 10% have an internet connection. In the Northwest and Limpopo provinces, only 3.6% and 1.6% respectively have access to the internet at home. In 2018, the National Education Infrastructure Management System found that only 4,605 out of 23,471 of schools had internet connectivity for teaching and learning. Honorable Minister, that needs to stop today. There are many good initiatives that are already contributing to the department's strategic goals. Bandwidth Ban in Khayelitsha is one of the great examples of empowerment while boosting the township economy. One of its initiatives is a smart tech program for informal traders that uses smartphones to increase process efficiency. So far, it has supported more than 3,000 township-based entrepreneurs and trained 500 informal traders in smart technology. Climate change and electricity challenges have presented a massive opportunity for innovation using technology. The city of Cape Town has committed over 2.3 billion in the next 3 years to end load shedding and 1.2 billion to a solar PV and battery storage project, while the Western Cape government has set aside 116.6 million for its energy project scheduled to launch or continue in the 2024-2025 fiscal year. This is creating new opportunities in the renewable energy space to also solve the unemployment crisis. It can be done if we pull together under one common goal. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. I will now call Honorable Al Mukutu. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson, Minister Dr. Blade Nzimande, honorable members of the committee. On behalf of the ANC, I wish to support Budget Vote 35 as presented by the Minister. We affirm this budget, conscious of the still persistent structural challenges in the sector and the difficult task ahead for the 7th administration of pursuing transformation of South Africa's science, technology, and innovation sector, and using STI to tackle the stubborn legacies of our colonial and apartheid past. Honorable Chairperson, Honorable Pambo stood here and made a point that over 30 years, the ANC has not been able to do anything to transform the structural challenges in the STI sector. What it doesn't mention is that this is a consequence of what you call separate development, the legacy of separate development, special inequality, inherited from colonial apartheid. And in fact, the ANC post-1994 has done much to vastly change the inherited STI sector to ensure that there's a greater inclusion and participation of South African working class, particularly Africans and Blacks in general. To address this challenge that Honorable Palmer has raised, flowing from the ANC resolutions, this is why we welcome the approval by the Cabinet of a comprehensive implementation plan for the 2019 White Paper on Science, Technology and Innovation. The White Paper commits itself to redressing the imbalances of the past by funding grassroots innovations. Our view is that this will allow greater participation of communities and ensure innovations are not the exclusive preserve of the elite groups found in the urban centers, but they are also serving working class communities found in the rural and township communities, which were otherwise excluded in the past. The White Paper also commits itself to using public procurement to further innovation and technology localization. A country and a people that is in the catch-up of development and technological upgrading should preoccupy itself with the competitiveness of local firms against their global counterparts. Honorable Chairperson, the development of local industries and their competitiveness cannot be left to chance or miracle. It should be a deliberate and concerted effort to fund research and development to increase the productive capacity of our economy. Now, at the center of this intervention is to ensure the sustainability of new and transformed broad-based Black economic empowerment firms in or outside the existing supply chains of SOEs, as well as to expand the competitive edge of SMMEs in our economy. Also of key strategic importance in the White Paper is the decadal plan, which is a 10-year plan that seeks to enhance national governance and coordination through new structures such as the presidential plenary and dedicated interministerial committee. Honorable members, the mandate of the Department of Science and Innovation, amongst other things, is to play a coordinating and steering role of STI across all sectors and tiers of government. This places the department at the strategic axis of technological development and driving economic growth. But for this to happen, DSI must be embedded in the core economic and development policy sectors of government. It must forge strategic alliances with the key economic departments such as DTIC, agriculture, health, forestry, fisheries and environment, minerals and petroleum and electricity, and energy to drive critical innovation. The state needs to play an active role through investment in research and development of new technologies to drive the industrialization of our economy and beneficiation. In all advanced economies of the world, the state has been central in investing in developing new technologies. For instance, there would be no internet, computer, or GPS if the American state did not invest billions into the research work of defense advanced research projects. Our view is that there should be a relationship between innovation and growth policy and vice versa. Crucially, DSI must work hand in glove with provincial and local governments to build a grassroots innovation system rooted in local communities. To emphasize this point, a development economist, Hajun Sheng, argues that it is important for developing countries to invest in research and development and acquire technological capabilities to move up the value chain and compete globally. He further argues that technology transfer and domestic innovation should be prioritized over simply relying on imported technologies. This means that the state must be at the forefront or at the center of investing in innovation. The government must be willing to take the ultimate risks and incentivize innovators. The centrality of the state in building innovative capacity can never be overstated. It is against this backdrop that we strongly disagree with the budget cuts in the Department of Science, Technology and Innovation. We're of the view that it not only limits the capacity of the department to do its work, but it is counterproductive to the whole economy and government. Our view is that the Department of Science and Innovation is central in our quest to reindustrialize our economy. There must therefore be a strong link between our industrial strategy and the work of the department. To underscore this point, President Kgalema, on the occasion of the Science, Technology and Innovation Summit held in 2013, remarked, and I quote, "In any case, no modern society has scaled their heights of social progress without science and technology as the innately driving impulse. As amply demonstrated elsewhere in the world, science and technology are a precondition for modernization. It even enables societies previously stuck in the underdevelopment to catch up with, if not leapfrog, those already determining the development agenda." I close quote. If science and technology are a precondition to development, as President Kgalema suggests, this means that more money should be allocated to the department to accelerate the process of addressing the persistent challenges associated with underdevelopment, such as structural unemployment, inequality, and poverty. In conclusion, the Department of STI must also help our country build state capacity to deliver our services more effectively and efficiently to address spatial inequality. Honorable Chair, we also need to have a broader discussion about the legislative framework of patents and intellectual property to break the monopolies and ensure the public can benefit from them. This is consistent with the proposal of the white paper to ensure that the legislation on intellectual property rights from publicly financed research and development responds to the changing policy context. My considered view is that strong protection of IPRs may encourage monopolies, hinder research and development, and inhibit the interests of society. The private sector cannot continue to be the major beneficiaries of state-funded innovation without any returns. And this is what, Minister, the Italian development economist Mazzucato calls socializing the risk and privatizing the rewards. We need to find mechanisms to ensure that society benefits from state-funded innovations. I thank you. Thank you very much for your time, Pambo.
Thank you very much. I will now be calling the Honorable Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation. Thank you.
You know, MK, I would like to teach you science. You never go to court to go and decree about a concept. A concept like the GNU, if you don't like it, you win it in debate and engagement. You can't go to court. You don't, that's totally unscientific. We must teach you science. You can't go and decree in a court of law that a concept can be used. Now, at least we are all agreed, Chairperson, that we need more money for this department. All agreed. That's one thing. You should be supporting it so that we can fight for more money. I want to say to Honorable Minyatso, I would have thought that in terms of what you argued, you would have supported the budget. Because most of the things we are talking about are things that we are doing. I couldn't outline all of them because of time, but our health innovation portfolio is massive. It's huge. Whether it's on HIV/AIDS, the latest now, we just launched a nuclear medicine facility to facilitate the treatment of cancer, diagnostics as well as therapeutics. It's lots of things that we're actually doing on health innovation. COVID-19, World Health Organization said South Africa was amongst the best in terms of mobilizing social science to deal with COVID-19 attitudes and so on. Similarly, we have a huge portfolio of indigenous knowledge system. Sebenza nenyanga zakithi. Zamangala ngelinye ilanga uma ngizwa ngithi hayi ngiyazi phela nina niyancinda niyaqada niyabhema niyaphalaza nenza zonke izinto ngoba ngizalwa inyanga shana. Siyasebenza nabo because we are the most biodiverse. We're in the top 5 in the world in terms of the most biodiverse country. We have only studied, in fact, I'm told, no more than 10% of the plants species that we have in our country. We have lots of things. Working with our herbalists is very important because we will end up discovering new things. We also have a very close working relationship with the Chinese because Chinese are very good in terms of traditional Chinese medicines. So we actually do all those things together. Honorable Matsone, I agree with you when you say your emphasis on digital technologies. That is very important, and we are still going to be able to share with you some of the things that we are also doing. Bambo, you argue so well about what science is. You should be supporting this budget. But because the EFF is caught in this oppositionism, everything that government comes with, you must oppose it. I don't understand why you don't support what you are supporting because let me concede. You do have an understanding of science, but then when you come to the conclusion, then you mess it up.
Chairperson.
Turn it upside down.
Yes, just hold on.
On a point of order,
Honorable Minister, may you please take a seat is this a point of order?
No, thank you very much, Chairperson. I think, look,
Is it a point of order?
yes, I'm raising a Chairperson.
Thank you.
Yeah. Are you the Chairperson? Chair, I think the minister, if he is agreed and he stands on what he's saying now.
Which rule, Chair?
Yeah, section.
Which rule?
Yeah.
Which rule, Chair?
Which rule are you rising?
40
on?
Rule, Chair.
40.
Yeah, check it, Chair.
Which rule, Chair?
Chair. Chair,
You guys
can you
please give
protect
me
me,
up-
Chairperson?
No, Chair, we want to hear the
Please
rule.
complete your point.
Yes,
Fred.
Chair.
Honorable Member.
It is not possible that we must support a budget that is not enough.
No,
Okay,
that's
that's not a point of order.
Says to us.
No, it's not a point of order.
Chair.
Please, it's not a
Chair.
point of order.
You can only detect that it's a point of order when I'm finished.
No,
But
you
you are suppressing.
Okay, continue.
We are in a so can I raise it?
I'm
Yes.
asking you, finish your point.
Yes.
Not a monologue.
Yes, Chair, as we raised it in the committee, we're raising it again now. The austerity measures that are put on this department are affecting the department from.
Chair, that's
Okay,
not
that's not a
a
point of order.
point of order. Chair.
Okay, it's not a point of
So
order.
there's no way,
Can I
Chairperson.
ask you to refrain
Chairperson,
from talking
there's
and
no way
switch your
that we can
microphone,
support a
Honorable
budget
Member?
that is not
I think
enough.
we've had
You are
enough
not
now.
going to achieve it.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Minister, will you continue with your speech, please? Thank you.
Honorable Chair and honorable members, let me agree with Honorable Post.
Honorable Member, Honorable Minister, will you please kindly take your seat? Could you please speak on the point of order?
Thank you, Chair. I don't want the minister to mislead the House. He can't say he doesn't understand why the EFF is rejecting when we went there and we explained the reasons why we are rejecting this budget. So he must not mislead the House. He must rather, because he's closing the debate.
Is this a point of
Okay, I
order?
don't think that
That
that's
we
another
raised.
point of order.
Is this a point of order?
Honorable Minister, please continue.
No, no, no.
Honorable Minister.
The point of order, Chair, and you're the only
What-
chair in this house. You have never asked for assistance from anyone, especially these ones of the GNU. They must keep quiet. They must focus on their government of the.
Okay, thank you very
and
much.
Leave us alone.
Thank you. Honorable Minister, please continue.
Let me agree with Honorable Boshoff that precisely because the results of science are not immediately available, then we tend to underfund it. I think that's a very important issue that we need to take up as we seek more funding. Honorable Letlape, I want to say to you, our focus on health innovation is a very holistic one. We are acutely aware, and there's a strong focus on communicable diseases, including obesity, and also the role of humanities in actually understanding these. So your points that we are making are some of the things that we are actually doing. Sicela ukubonga kubo bonke abantu abasekele le budget. Ngikhalisane shame nalabo abangazange bayisekele ngoba bawusalele emuva. Ngoba nalento yenza ukuthi ningayifuni le GNU, nashiwa ibhasi. Nashiwa ibhasi. Sathi siqambe sethi nasanisele.
Chairperson.
Iyona nkinga eninayo. Thank you very much.
Uyabaleka. Walandile, uyabaleka.
Time is expired. Thank you very much.
Never.
Thank you very much.
GA, never.
That, thank you. Thank you. Can I have order, please? Order.
Abanel Ganzile,
Can I have order?
Yakanye.
Thank you. We're not finished with the order of the
GA
business
must
of the
wait the
House.
street of
Thank you.
front.
That concludes the debate and the business of this mini plenary session. The mini plenary will now rise. Thank you.
Yeah, Chair.
Ibhasi lihambile.
Chairman. So you are going to make us redundant. Humble.